I know I did what was right, but it's hard to
Oh,
know you gave away. My ex would probably never make less than $1 million every year, and I'm starting over.
Welcome back, guys.
hi guys. We're doing a reaction video today. That Michael and I found it on TikTok. It's gonna be about this female who was in a relationship or a marriage for 23 to 26 years and she got divorced, so she's just talking about her life after divorce, that she regrets it. So we're gonna dive into it. Just stay with us. It's gonna be fun.
Yep, let's get right into it.
Hey, it's Jenna, recently divorced, 47, and giving tips and asking questions about this new life after divorce. And I don't know, I'm in a different stage today. Honestly, I literally have been having a great week, amazing week, and then all of a sudden today, my emotions, I had the craziest thoughts, and I wonder, does anybody else feel this way? Like, I feel like I'm in mourning of the life I thought that I was going to have. And I'm kind of pissed at myself. I stayed in a marriage for 23 years and
23.
built up a family and my ex's career and everything. And we literally just got to where it was supposed to be everything we dreamed of. Like, owned a company, making, almost $1 million. And that was my breaking point.
Then
And
why
I
did you
left
divorce?
it all. Like, left it
Oh,
all.
okay.
And I'm not a person that is about money, and I'm not a person who
Sure.
feels like they have to have, like, labels and name brands and all that stuff. But I really have found that, like, I've kind of been in mourning of the, like, oh my gosh, like, I gave it all up. And I don't have a traditional career. I'm a photographer that in my marriage, it was made to be a hobby. I never could outdo my other. I had to drop everything, to keep up with the family, for their needs, to make sure everything built in their career, their business, all that. So it wasn't like I had a 9 to 5 where I got 401, where I got steady income, all that. Yes, I market the crap out of my business. Yes, I'm an amazing photographer. And yes, I have so many amazing clients. They're great. But the reality was, like, everything was around my family. So when I chose to
That's how it should be.
leave, I gave it all up. Like, all up.
Okay.
And most people are like,
Why?
oh, well, you should have got your end in court. No, South Carolina has some crazy, crazy rules. And I came out of a situation where I had
South
been
Carolina.
mentally abused, financially abused for 23 years. Like, I was gaslit for so long that when I finally left, I had no clue that the worst was yet to come in the 1 year of separation. And so it's weird because I find that I just thought today for a split second, and I'm like, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I thought, I should have just stayed. I should have stayed. It wasn't that bad.
You
Like,
said it was abusive.
you made it 23 years. You made 26 years
Yeah.
total. Your kids
wow.
are like
6 years total.
college, and one's almost out of high school. Like, you made it. You made it. Like, it didn't matter at this point. They can do their own separate life and all that. You made it to the point where you guys were making so much money, and you had big houses, and you could do whatever you want, and you can relax. And
So
I
she
literally
doesn't
just
care
called
about
her.
money.
So,
I thought she said she doesn't care about money. But
yeah,
all she's complaining about is, I had a big house, I got so much money.
we're making $1 million. This
Okay.
is this is,
So she's not regretting the divorce.
no,
She's regretting the
she's not regretting the divorce. She's
money.
regretting the money. And if you listen to her, she's like, I don't have a stable career. I don't have a 401k. I'm a photographer, non-traditional. And from my understanding, like, I don't think a photographer career is something that's like, I don't think that's just like a good steady income where she was saying a 9 to 5. So
Yes. Photographer, they make good money for sure.
I'm not saying you don't, but it sounds like in her case, it's just like a here and there. She made it sound more like a hobby, like it's not an actual
Yeah.
career. So regardless, it's just, listen to what she's saying right now. And it's like, it just sounds like it's womanese, like womanese for,
Hmm.
I miss having all that money. I miss having my man cover everything. You know what I mean?
Big house.
She's now that she's on her own, she's probably starting to realize what it's like to have responsibilities. Like, think about that.
Yeah, to pay for mortgage
26
and
years, I'm sure her husband in those 26 years, because 26 years, she's 47, she would have been 21 when she got in this relationship. She probably never had to handle any sort of household chores, really, I'm guessing. Like, and I'm talking like handling the yard maintenance, handling trash,
yeah,
handling anything. And now that you're on your own in your late 40s, you're going to throw everything away, all the money that your
that's
husband
just
was
sad.
working for and making money to provide for your family. And she's right. She was at that point where all she had to do was sit back and relax. I just don't understand it,
I don't know.
throwing that all away.
It was weird. Well, let's continue and see what else she's gonna complain about.
And I was like freaking out because like I'm my biggest I'm the biggest person that keeps me back. Like, I'm terrified. I don't have 401k. My counsel did not have my back. I was so traumatized when I got out and then terrorized for the next year that I couldn't even think straight to help the people that wanted to help me. And the people I entrusted to help me didn't help me.
You're a victim.
And there's just timelines that you can't stop. And so it is what it is. And, you know, I'm 47 years old. It's not like I'm 25. I'm healthy. Kinda. I have an autoimmune disease, which means it's life-threatening for the rest of my life. You know, things can change. But it's not like I'm an invalid and can't do anything for myself. But it is terrifying. Like, I could have stayed. I'm so mad that I think this way. I could have stayed. My life would have been so much easier. I could have just gone and done whatever I wanted. Kinda. I mean, I say that, and then I think as I say that, I'm like, but you couldn't. It's like so weird that my brain thinks that way. And I called my girlfriend and I told her, I was like, I probably should have just stayed. I should have just stayed. It wasn't that bad. And she just started, she's like, Jenna, what are you talking about? Like, literally, they were horrible to you. They told you to shut up. They told you not to breathe, not to eat.
Who's they?
Every little part of your life, every day you were miserable and you were crying. You are not remembering that. And then I just keep thinking, I'm like,
Maybe.
but I had a huge house and all my bills were paid for and I never had to think how they were going to get paid. My grass was cut, well, not the last year of separation. But you know what I mean? All the basic things to keep the image up. And I gave up my entire image that I was trained to have for my family for 23 years. Like, I was the stay-at-home mom and I made the image of we were the perfect family. I have beautiful children. They were dressed right. They, you know, did top sports like cheer and football and went to all that stuff. And I was, you know, the cheer mom and, you know, did all that stuff and then did photography on the side just to make money, to make ends meet while he built his career up. And I stayed long enough to just give it all up when it was like right there. And I'm so mad at myself because I'm not this way. I don't think this way. And it's funny because I never.
So at this point, this whole video just seems like she just regrets her decision. And
she regrets the money.
Through the whole thing, yeah, it's just the money. It has nothing to do with the family, the husband. And it's funny because she says she's talking about trauma, it sounds like, and she's talking about being financially abused. And it's like, what is the financial abuse that she's referring to? Is this some sort of translation talk for, oh, I wanted to get 5 massages this week, you only let me get 1 massage? And
Probably.
you know what I mean? It's, oh, I wanted to buy 3 Gucci bags. I was only allowed to buy 1 Louis Vuitton bag this week. Like, what kind of financial abuse are we talking about here? I mean, we're talking about, he said that their business was bringing in $1 million a year. So it tells me that they're well off. I can't imagine that there's some sort of financial abuse. And here's the other thing that I think a lot of women make mistakes on, and it's listening to your friend group. Your friend group that is telling you, hey, oh, you're in such a bad situation. He only let you get 2 massages this week. Oh man,
Not good.
what a toxic husband you have. He's being abusive. You need to get out of that relationship now. And then meanwhile, you get out of that relationship, and guess what? You see Debbie, your best friend, over there hanging out with your guy, banging your old guy, and
Uh-oh.
that's just how it goes.
That's how Well, that's how it goes.
Honestly,
Usually girls are jealous, so they're gonna try to get you out of your good life that you have, and then they're gonna
yeah,
replace you.
literally, I think what we're seeing here is they just get jealous, they're envious, and they see you have this really good life, and then they get in your ear, they
Mhm.
get in your head, and they start telling you these things like,
They're like, "You're
"Oh,
nice, you're beautiful, you need a better
you're
life,
beautiful. You deserve this. You're a strong, independent woman. You should get whatever you deserve." Right? No, seriously though,
strong,
that's like
independent
this.
woman."
That's the narrative being pushed these days, and women like this, they just eat it all up, and then misery loves company, and next thing you know, they're making a video about
Mhm.
how much they regret leaving that marriage. And the sad thing is, it's not even she doesn't regret leaving her husband. She just regrets the money, and when she realized the grass wasn't greener on the other side, which
Her
a
bills was paid.
yeah, her bills are no longer paid, her grass isn't cut, all the
Wow.
day-to-day stuff that used to be taken care of, she has to do it all on her own, and she's starting to realize that the grass isn't greener, and she regrets missing out on all the money.
There you
That's
go.
that's what it is at the end of the day.
That's
I mean,
it.
that's what I'm seeing so far.
She is not upset about her decision that she's not with the family anymore, or she's
Mhm.
not with her husband, with her kids, and being a nice, happy
Yeah.
family. She's only regretting it because of the financial situation,
Yeah, it's all about the
which
money.
is pretty messed up.
Yeah. American values. All right,
Oh
that's
God. Well, he's not wrong.
Like, I feel like it's almost made me hard in dating because anybody who is accomplished and all that, I'm like, oh, no, no. No, like,
Oh,
I'm never going to depend on a man again, ever, especially after South Carolina laws. I want love. Don't get me wrong. I want love. I am a
what kind of laws they
Uh,
have? Like,
real
you
quick,
didn't
I
get
don't
anything?
I don't know the South Carolina laws, but apparently I'm guessing it's one of those situations where if you leave your spouse, I'm guessing that you're not entitled to
Anything.
anything. Just a guess. I don't really know what the laws
Well,
are.
that's good to know for
Um,
people who are in South Carolina.
Basically, what she's saying is, I'm not going to try to get a man who makes more money because I can't take half his stuff when I leave and divorce on my own free will.
So she's still worrying about the financial
Still comes
goal.
down to the money. Let's hear it.
She doesn't care about anything
Let's
else.
see if she changes her mind and
Oh
regrets
God.
the leaving her actual family, or if it's all just about money still.
forever girl. Like, I have learned in this dating scene, I am not a date around kind of girl. I also learned that, like, I immediately don't want full contact boyfriend. Like, I need to heal. And do I want that
Oh,
one consistent where, like, hey, you
Why
want
is
to
she
go to a
dating?
football game? Do you want to go to a bonfire? Do you want to have fun? That kind of thing? Yeah. But do I want to be on lockdown and have someone
oh.
call me every 5 minutes and be like, what are you doing? Where are you at? No, I don't want that. I've got to heal myself.
She belongs to the streets.
I've got to
Why her
make
accent
sure
changed?
whatever's right is right. And if that person comes along in my life and, it continues and it progresses, like, I hope they're forever. But I'm not searching for it.
She doesn't want a long-term relationship. She just wants to go around bang other dudes and have fun.
And have fun. That's basically what she said.
It is
Okay.
hard to
I
be a
mean, you're
single
47,
female when
so
you're 47, when your kids are out. It's not like I have little kids. I always say, if I had little kids, this would be not even a question. Because that instinct comes in. My kids, I got little kids. I got to get them up for school. I got to get them to here. I got to get them to there. I got to go to work. I got to do that. I don't have that. I'm literally at home. The worst time of my day is after the gym at night when the house is quiet and silent and I just am in my thoughts. And it's so hard. Like, I'm my own boss. If I don't go to work, if I get sick, nothing happens. And my Jenna photography would just crumble. And I love what I do. I have a passion for it. I love it.
I'm single by choice because I have a fulfilling career where I am doing really important things.
But I'm in my head. Like, I'm literally in my head. And I'm booking shoots and I'm doing amazing. I'm so excited. But every time I think future and long run, I freak out. Because my future was right there. Like, it was solidified. Like, I was comfortable for the rest of my life. Maybe not mentally in
Here
my
you go.
relationship, but financially, I was fine. And I
She's
gave it
saying
all up
it.
to be happy. And I know time will come. I know that will happen.
You let them talk long enough, and they just tell on themselves. You can't make this stuff up. They
She literally said it. I was financially fine
I
and
was financially
happy.
fine, but I
Wow.
was also being financially abused, and that's,
That doesn't make sense.
okay.
Oh God.
And I'm not a materialistic person, and I'll never, ever be with someone for money. but it's terrifying. Like, am I the only one that feels this way? Like, I think people just think, oh, well, she's blonde, blue eyes, she's a gold digger, she did this. No, no, no. We had nothing when we started. Actually, I had more money than my ex. And, you know, I had my own
At
career.
21.
And then as things happened, I stayed home
Wow.
and, you know, followed his career. So I'm just so frustrated with myself. I keep telling myself, I'm like, you're not, I remember the bad. It's right here. But I also am like, maybe I should have stayed. It was like stable in every other area, but that, like, is my mental health really that important? And then my friends remind me, they're
Financial
like,
abuse.
yes, like you're just
Oh,
in that
her friends
crazy
told her
in
yes.
between stage. And I'm trying to work through it. I'm trying to work through the process. But it's terrifying. It's terrifying to start over at 47. And
Honey,
I would love any
it's
tips. Like,
terrifying.
does anybody else feel this way? Like, I know men probably have the same situation too, but I really think it's more terrifying, like, me as a female. And I've even considered going to different types of jobs and careers, and I love my job. Like, I make good money, but I'm so terrified. I'm like, I don't have 401k. Like, I don't know. Is this another stage of divorce? I'm happy, but I go into these random thoughts of, you
So does
gave it
she
all
want to
away.
go back?
Like, was it worth giving away? And I
Yes,
know
it
it was.
is.
I know it was for my mental sanity. I know it was for my happiness. It will all come together, but it's still terrifying to start
That's
over
crazy.
at this age. Anybody else feel this way? Like, is this any tips? Just let me know.
Any
Yeah.
tips?
I'm trying to figure it out, and I know I did what was right, but it's hard to
Oh,
know you gave away. My ex will probably never make less than $1 million every year, and I'm starting over, and basically
my
as if I was 20 years old
God.
again.
As if
And it
I'm
just
20 year
doesn't
old
seem
again.
fair, but I have to quit crying and just do it. So, any tips and advice? Is this normal? How did you get
Sure.
through this stage? Tell me what you did, because I have no choice but to do it.
So
Wow.
honestly, I just like how she straight defaults to 20 years old. I think that's pretty funny. It's just like she's like, oh, it's like I'm back at 20 years old again, where I'm in my fun stage of life, being on my own, doing my own thing.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's almost,
Being
it's
happy.
honestly, I feel like based off of what we're hearing here, she just wanted to be like she's in her 20s again.
There you
She
go.
thought the grass was going to be greener. She thought if she left her husband, she would probably get a good payout from court, hopefully get 50% of everything he owns, get that, half of that million every year. I mean, that's probably what she was guessing. And her friends probably egged her on and was like, hey, yeah, you can just leave him. You can go have fun with all these other guys like you're in your 20s again. Because if you listen to what she said, she told on herself straight up. She said, I'm going to go have fun, go to bonfires, go do this, 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 but I don't want commitment. I don't want to settle down with someone. I don't want someone
Yeah,
to have this financial abuse over me, making all of this money and only letting me buy one bag at a time. You know what I mean?
that's sad.
It's just like, and the sad thing is, this whole time, she never once said anything about actually genuinely missing her husband
Kids.
or the kids, which, they're
Like, my kids are not young anymore.
in college or out of high
You
school.
don't have to be there for your kids even if they're in college.
Yeah, you should be there for your kids for as much as you
Forever.
can for the rest of their life, right? So it's just
You're responsible for that.
right, but
That's weird.
it's just you ruin all of that. You ruin your relationship based on this, financial abuse. And if there was something actually going on, something really wrong, she would have stated it. She would have been like, "Well, my husband was cheating on me. My husband was actually hitting me. My husband was," you know what I mean? She would
Yeah.
have she would have said the truth. She would have been like,
hmm
but because there's no real thing going
You
on,
just said financial abuse,
yeah,
which I think Michael's right. She probably couldn't buy as much as she wanted, which she
I
was
don't
getting more
really
greedier, probably.
yeah, it sounds completely like greed. She wants to have her cake and eat it too type of situation, which seems to be like a lot of women. A lot of women, they don't want to
Mhm.
accept accountability. They just want to do whatever they want. And like we've seen in this video, I mean, we watched the whole thing from front to finish, from start to finish, and I,
It was crazy.
it's all about the money.
She's looking
She,
for
she, she,
tips.
she wants to have her fun as if she's in her 20s, but she wants to have that, million every year that her
Uh-huh.
husband is making.
And she doesn't want to be committed. So,
Yeah. So that's part of the problem. She didn't want to stay committed to her husband. She wanted to go have fun. That's honestly, that's the translation I got out of all of that.
So do you have any tips for her, honey?
Yeah, I do have some tips for you.
What kind of tips do you
Shouldn't
have?
have got divorced. Honestly, you spent all that time in your life to be married to someone. You should make the most of it. When you pick your lifetime partner, you should stay with that person till death. When you take
That's
that
true.
oath of marriage, you are dedicating your life to staying with them. And if there was a real legitimate reason like actual abuse, I'm sure the South Carolina laws would have taken that into an account
Oh
and
yeah.
helped her with a payout. But, clearly she just wanted to leave and have fun, so she didn't get what she wanted.
Here you go.
Just look at my wife's culture. It's haram to get divorced. Seriously,
It is
that
haram.
the word divorce, that's not an option where she comes from. So
That's true.
it's one of the reasons why I married her. I'm just kidding.
One of the reasons.
Yeah, no, seriously, commitment is very important, and it's just another good video.
It was fun, for sure.
But
Let us know how you think about it.
yeah, let us know what you think. Do you think our translation was pretty spot on, or do you think what she said was pretty legitimate?
Yeah,
I don't know. Let us know what you guys think.
I don't know. Thank you for staying with us.